Jay actually owns, and what's even cooler about this, created this absolutely funkalicious, ridiculous leg. And so what I wanted to ask, like, basically, you've created what I would say is the ultimate, like, best bass. This is the best bass lake in Kentucky, I would assume. It sure fishes like it, dude.
I don't want to take all the credit.
So we are on the best bass lake, private lake in Kentucky, and Jay created it. So tell me, what's the art? Like, what do you do to, like, make it this absolutely amazing?
Well, like, I just kind of looked at it from a whole and try to simplify everything. And what does it take to grow big bass?
Okay.
Obviously water,
Clearly.
food, and cover.
Okay.
So that's where I, like, centered around. And then about 6 or 7 years ago, I started thinking kind of like a rancher.
Yeah.
And, like, well, how do I improve my genetics? So when we built the lake in '88, the lake and I are the same age. I can't say that I actually built the lake. My grandfather and my father, they built the lake. And then when I moved back after college, I started getting involved with the management of the property and
An Alabama graduate. By the way, dude.
Yeah.
Alabama fish.
roadside. So I thought, well, all right, I'm gonna start. How do I do it? Well, I was like, well, can I introduce Floridas or F1s or something else? And I started reading about it. And my first plan was to do F1s because I thought, well, we are a little bit further north. Maybe there's something to the residual effect of having that northern genetic in a fish. Well, what I found in my research was, like, well, if you take an F1 to a straight northern, when we built the lake, we didn't really differentiate between the subspecies, and we had northerns. I was like, well, I'm not going to, I don't need to introduce F1s and northerns because then you get an F2 and you have a diminishing return after that for your Florida traits, the
big stuff.
The big stuff. So we went straight Floridas. We used the actual Titan program. So the first round of Floridas I got came out of Georgia, I believe.
Okay.
And then we've just kind of bought on the spot market where we could get them. Now, I haven't bought any. I didn't introduce any last year. Kentucky decided, which we're in Kentucky, they decided, we don't want to import
Bass fishes. Okay, I got you.
fishes. And I was like, well, that sucks. So,
All right.
but then I started, like, also what is my best bang for my buck on retainage for food and through our shocking surveys, I found, I started introducing golden shiners 5 years ago.
Okay.
And those, like, do the best. I always thought it would be threadfins.
Yeah.
But the golden shiner for the white bait, the herring or the shad style bait, the golden shiners have performed the best for us. I used to think, like, gizzard shad, and I'm a Kentucky Lake guy, so gizzard shad is the thing there. And these lakes, they don't really spawn well.
Okay.
So I had an old fisherman. Actually, he's like a mentor to me. He always called gizzard shad river shad.
Okay.
They spawn out in the current.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have enough. We can't generate. We can generate a little bit of current, but we can't.
You can't move.
I can't make. I can't set it up and make them spawn.
Yeah.
So, but we do have gizzard shad in here, and the problem with gizzard shad is, like, if your pond gets clear, they don't want to spawn.
Really?
Yeah, they don't like. You have to maintain a certain water clarity to really get them to go and have current in it. So they will spawn a little bit, but best bang for the buck for us has been obviously the golden shiners, copper nose bluegill.
Okay.
Then I put the threadfin at third.
Okay.
So and that's just on retainage. So anybody wants to go out and build a lake, I believe in the method of introduce your forage species, let them get established. Year 1, year 2, start introducing small populations of bass. And then, once you get adult fish established, you got to start taking them out. That's a big thing.
Take out the
little guys. I mean, this is a buffet.
Yeah.
This is a buffet, and if you want a lot of food and want to be able to grow bigs on your buffet,
can't have them rats.
Yeah, you can't have a bunch. And then the importance of cover. If you've got a lake and you don't have cover in it, they turn into strappers. They roam. Yeah. They get up high in the water column and they just chase bait. The bait doesn't have any place to orient to. Yeah. So that roaming burns calories.
Yeah.
It's like
I didn't even think.
yeah. So, well, I think of them like almost like a cow.
Okay.
So you know, if your cow's got to go a long ways to feed, he's burning more energy, burning more calories.
So we want them.
We want fat girls, man. We want fat girls.
Well, I noticed you guys celebrate Christmas like about 20, 25 times a year. Like that thing right back.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I got like 80% of the live Christmas trees that people wanted to get rid of in the city of Paducah. So
there's brush in here. I noticed there's big rocks or something that you put, or like big box-looking things.
So background, I'm a heavy highway contractor.
Okay.
So a lot of times we got to tear out old concrete structures, old drainage boxes.
Yeah.
I just bring it up here and toss them out.
So it is super cool.
Yeah.
Because there's some stuff here that looks literally like smallmouth spawning stuff. You see on Pickwick, like a big old block, and you're like, bro, there's a smallie on that. Like some crazy. So you have a diversity of like hardcover, and then that sort of organic cover with the wood and that.
Yeah, and like I've even kind of gone like these Christmas trees. They'll last about a year.
Yeah.
And
they ain't so good.
You
need hardwood actually.
You need a hardwood. I really like fruit trees, believe it or not.
Dude, orange trees in Florida are the shit.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it. There's something about them. They don't break down as quick as like some of your softer timbers, and even like oaks. Like when I first got it, I'm a duck hunter, so like I would peel some of the residual camo off of my duck blind and sink it.
Yep.
And I just noticed they wouldn't get on it as good. I don't know if there's some sort of acidity there that it has to break down or what, but we had an ice storm back in 2009, and this farm's got a bunch of hedge apple trees.
Okay.
So I went around and started whacking up hedge apple tops and sinking them. They really work good.
Really?
Yeah, but so like there's something, wild cherries. We had a lot of wild cherries in West Kentucky. They really
so the fruit tree.
There's something to the fruit. I'm probably giving away more than I need to, but there is something to having the fruit trees. And it's funny you say that about like orange trees in Florida.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's a thing. I don't have the exact science to back it up, but I've just noticed from being out like the fruit trees really hope.
If it works, don't fix it. Right?
Yeah. So take that. That's my one thing is start making your brush piles out of fruit trees.
Last question. What's the biggest one you ever caught?
11-2.
On what?
So it was we were coaching a high school kid that day. And the Kentucky Lake was off limits, so I brought him up here. I let him come up here and fish, and he caught on an A rig. And like it was. And this is the wild thing about this was pre me introducing Floridas. So this was 11-2 northern. Yeah, it was 2015, 2016.
Wow.
And the kid like held it up, and he's like skinny kid, tall, skinny kid, good kid. He said he was hung. I was like, yeah, you're hung, all right. You're not hung.
Hung a dog.
Hung a dog. So, my dad and I came out here in 22 or maybe early 21. Whenever on the first boat I got with live scope.
Yeah.
And we were just like train wrecking on my boat. And I hung a 9.4. And when I did, I've lost a lot of weight, but I was a pretty good sized fellow then. And put the full torque master into it and actually tore my meniscus setting the.
You were telling me about that. That's the one that.
That was like
It's never done. So you blew your load and you were done.
I was like, I was like, well, I'm on the spin pole and kept the pro seat up there. That was a bad deal, but it's really been a blessing. My backstory: my grandfather started buying this property up in the 80s, and we were gonna like develop a resort and a full community up here, and then like 89, 90, when 89 the market kind of crashed, and we had all this property, and we were like, well, we're gonna sit on it, use it for family stuff.
Yeah,
and it's been a blessing. We've really enjoyed all aspects of it. When we're not messing with this lake, we're doing stuff for deer or turkey and waterfowl hunting, but it's brought me a lot of enjoyment. And like, I don't know if it's maturity or me getting older, but I enjoy the tinkering and the science to it as much as I do catching. and I love bringing, like I told you yesterday, you were one. I've had a lot of people up here. You were like the
fighter type of warehouse.
Yeah, Corey Daniel, of course Menendez, and J. Lou, Kelly Jordan.
That's quite the roster, dude.
Oh yeah, I mean it's like this place is like helped me make some lifelong friends. Like it's just I fished in college, but I knew like I was going to be a road bigger.
Yeah,
I never really wanted to seriously consider professional fishing, and I still don't. But like I've gotten to know a lot of people I can call. I feel like if I want to know something, I can pick up the phone and find out. My roommates were the Weldon brothers and Ben Weldon, and so that kind of like helped get me into this aspect. But it's a great time. It's brought a lot of joy to my life. So
well, dude, no good thing comes easy.
Yeah,
I know how. Like I can tell how much work you put into this, dude. So it ain't just like a pond. Like, hey, this was fun. Like you're thinking about this every day. Reflecting on how to make it better. It's like your little piece of art, dude, in nature, and it shows. I've never fished a place this stacked, dude, and I've been on some good stuff.
Yeah,
like this is amazing.
If you ever have a question, hit me up on like Instagram, Facebook. That's the best way. I don't put I only have one cell phone. It's a company phone. So I don't like, and you
barely have service out here.
I barely have service. Yeah. So, but yeah, hit me up on my socials and you'll be able to, if you got a question.
If you got a question about building a lake, just drop it in the comments below. I'm sure he'll watch the video and check it out. But dude, this is like amazing. Thank you for having me.
No, dude.
I haven't had this much fun in a long time. Dude.
I started watching you about 2 years ago and I was like, I've got to get it. And then like whenever you hooked up with Jordan, those guys are like, hey, he sent me a message. He's like, hey, I want to bring Mikey Balls. I'm like, dude, that's the guy I want to have.
Well, and those are the two guys I got to think. Between Jay and Jordan, the two J's, JJ, dude, freaking, I would never be able to come out here. So this is such a cool opportunity, bro. Like this is so.
You keep doing what you're doing because we all like. There's a lot of people out here. I talk about you often. I think you're one of the really good guys, especially on the YouTube.
Watch you see my head grow.
No, I ain't trying to do you. You put a lot of good content out there.
Appreciate that.
Like, hey, you got me throwing the Gambler goat head.
Yeah.
And
you throw that thing everywhere. And
so like when I'm not fishing here, I'm usually like going chasing smallmouth somewhere, and that's like half ounce, 5/0. That's
a swimming shiver.
Yes, that's my jam. That's my jam. I don't go anywhere without it.
Maybe that's your next step is putting smallmouth in here.
Oh, all right. So I had an opportunity. I'm not. This is nothing official, but I'm going to build another lake.
Okay.
And
ooh, I like this. Tell me more.
We're going to try to build a smallmouth lake. There's a lot of old quarries around here, and I think you can make that. They're going to be deep. They're going to be clear. At some point, we're going to try to build a real smallmouth lake. That's like that might be the last like project I really ever do, but that's I'm
dude, that would be bad. I don't know anybody's ever done that.
I think it can be done just because like with the geology and everything that we have.
You're right in the right area.
I'm in the right area. I'm far enough north. We're gonna try it here at some point. I don't know when, but it's like it's gonna happen. It's probably not gonna be as big as this lake, but it's gonna happen.
So stupid.
So,
well, we're gonna wrap it up and get back to fishing. This is amazing, and that whole concept of building a smallmouth like that is an absolutely big deal. If you guys got any questions, drop them down in the comments box, dude. Hit that like and subscribe button for me. This is Jay. I'm not telling you his last name because I want to fish this lake more before everybody else gets on to it, but it is absolutely stupid, dude. The work he has done shows like every cast because you catch a fish like every other cast.